I'd like to call the meeting of Wednesday, February 5th, 2020 to order. I'll just make a note for the record that Commissioner Sabir is en route. He was unexpectedly delayed. Any public comment?
Yes.
Okay, state your name and proceed, sir.
Yes, my name's Rich Garella. I'm a Philadelphia resident, taxpayer, and voter. And I have a question about the no ink poll books. As you know, the poll books were purchased last year for $3 million. In September, it was decided by this board not to use them because of some kind of technical incompatibility. And I would like to find out, especially as a taxpayer, if plans to use those poll books have been shelved, or if the problems are being worked out, or if there's any plans to use them for upcoming elections. And if not, is the city getting its money back? That sort of thing. So we're curious about that,
Thank you.
and would appreciate an answer if possible.
Thank you. Any more public comment?
Hi, my name is Betty
Good
Sessions,
morning.
and we stand before you.
I'm sorry, sir.
And I am Noreece Jones.
Thank you.
Yes, we stand before you. We were invited by Commissioner Sabir. He attended one of the civic meetings in our neighborhood, West Philly. And one of the things, my concern was, many, many years ago, we grew up in Philadelphia, moved to Washington, D.C. One of the things coming back, we noticed this voting. Years ago, there was a booklet of a sample ballot, basically of course, all the candidates, all your questions. So you had the opportunity as voters to review the information. Now he took hours just to drill down. Everybody unfortunately does not have access to the website. One of the questions that I asked, I said, wait a minute, I said, everybody do not have access. Is it possible for those booklets to be reprinted, to be placed in every mailbox in the city prior to this November 4th vote?
And I must say, I retired, moved back to Philadelphia in 2013, and I'm a historian. And I simply say that because I'm quite accustomed to researching and digging down, and I have found it to be absolutely outrageous, the difficulty in learning about candidates and then being able to research and to find out information about those candidates. And when we think about the reputation, or not reputation, but the reality of the low voter turnout, that it seems to me if there's any sincere commitment or interest in creating and increasing the number of voters, that there's simple means by which are, I think, simple means. I mean, we have a home in Maryland, and so in Maryland, booklets are sent out to all residents. Since we've been here, as I said, the paper sometimes has a sample ballot, so you can get at least names of people, but to be able to find out and understand what they represent is very, very difficult. I mean, I quite literally spend 5 to 8 hours every voting period trying to find out this information. So our appeal is that something be done to facilitate and perhaps provide information, or to think about and discuss what are some of the ways that could increase that voter participation by making it easier and people have more access to the candidates.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let the record reflect that Commissioner Sabir has joined the meeting. Is there any more public comment? Hearing none, we will proceed to the Supervisors report from Kevin Richardson.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Kevin.
Okay, the data and imaging units are currently up to date with entering for the election cycle to date. We processed 74,883 1,230 applications, of which 10,250 were paper. The data unit has approved 8,050 apps with another 2,200 to go. Imaging is currently proofing all their applications as well. Correspondence unit is appetizing and re-regging all paper apps for the 2019 general. Documents unit is busy with the mailings, building street list districts, sorting and citing apps, and we just mailed 20,230 ID cards today. And now we'll move on to Joe's. The warehouse is finishing up the logic and accuracy test for the special. Election activities is currently gathering all the materials, get ready for the packing the boxes for the special. County board. The annual Cycle 7 campaign finance reports were due last Friday. Annual reports must be filed by all candidates, political committees, and contributing lobbyists that have not filed a termination report, regardless of whether the entity has received or spent funds in 2019. Because the report was filed timely on our campaign finance website, filers have an additional 10 days to submit the notarized cover. We're also waiting on the Department of State to finalize new absentee and mail-in applications that are here with Act 77. There is a version of the absentee application currently available that they will accept and will continue to accept any older versions as well. The new application should hopefully be available by the end of the week. We're also waiting on the Department of State to finalize the new absentee and mail-in ballot envelope designs. Once they have the final version, it'll get designs approved by the USPS and begin production. Logic and accuracy testing of the February special election database was successful. They will mail out all requested absentee ballots for the February special election by Friday and make in-person absentee voting available in room 142. They are running ads next week in various newspapers announcing the primary election on April 28th. All permanent absentee ballot applications have been mailed. As for the election boards, all schools for the special election will start next week at West Philly High. They're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The times are 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And Saturday and Sunday will be 9 and 11 and 1 and 3. We'll be distributing all the election materials for the special at the schools. That's it.
Thank you, Kevin. Now we're going to proceed to new business. Any new business? I'm sorry. Charlie Stroman, did you have a polling place change?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I have 2 polling place changes. That's for a special election on February 25th. Before I start, ward leaders were notified, ward workers were notified, signs were hung at the old polling place and the proposed new polling place and throughout the division. The 2 polling place changes are in Ward 44, Division 16 and 17. I would like to lump them together because they both voted at Spectrum Health Services, and due to construction, I have a refusal there. We have Pro site at West Mill Creek Recreation Center, and they both reside in 4416. So they're both in the same division. It's a good move.
Thank you, Charlie.
You're welcome.
And it's moving closer to the contiguous division, the
Yeah.
polling place location.
Right.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Polling place of change for the 44th Ward, 16th, and 17th Division was changed.
Thanks, Charlie.
That's just for the special election, is that correct?
Yeah, special election. Yep,
Okay,
February
so
25th.
then the primary is gonna move back over to the spectrum?
Well,
We don't know.
we will check, every election cycle, I'll check back and see what the ward leaders want to do and or the community, and we'll address the situation at that point.
More new business? Commissioner Sabir?
Madam Chairwoman, I don't have any motions, but I would like to make an important statement. I would like to recognize that February is Black History Month. During this month, we take the time to reflect on racial justice issues and the and the contribution of African Americans to our nation. We must remember that not too long ago, every American did not have the right to vote. That is why we work, that's the work that we do at the City Commissioner's Office is so important. We must continue to make sure that we increase voter participation. This year marks the 150th anniversary of the 15th Amendment, which officially gave African Americans the right to vote. But it took about a century of activism to pass the Voting Rights Act of 1965 to truly ensure the right to vote for all Americans. Let us take the opportunity to recognize the efforts of leaders like Medgar Evers and Octavius Cotto, who pushed America to live up to its ideals of liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
And also, I'd just like to apologize for running late. Me and my wife, we got married up at the, today, right now. So that's the reason why I was a couple minutes late. So I apologize.
Where are your priorities? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any more new business?
I have none.
Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned to the call of the chair. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
That was a really good suggestion.
So thank you.
Seems like a no-brainer, but
It's, yeah,
it'd be about to be great.
yeah, it can happen. It can happen.